So 17 years ago today, one of my all-time favorite consoles debuted. "17 years. That's a really, really long time for a system to be out and still hold up to this day. Where do you begin to even tell the story of one of your all-time favorite consoles? I can tell you where most great adventures start, at the beginning. So on this day, 17 years ago, if I can recall, and I recall very good, my little brother actually went out to KB toy stores on Irving Park and Cicero in Chicago, the Six Corner Sears, right around there. There used to be a KB toy stores, and I remember I wasn't home at the time. I was either in college or working or some shit like that. I was gone from home for a while there for a couple years, and I remember my brother wanting at least $250 to go ahead and purchase this system that was coming out on September 9th, 1999. And I remember him needing the money. And it just so happened, and it's funny where you place yourself in your life when you see certain things. Like for me, when I see the Dreamcast, I can recall back to when, and it's little things that you wouldn't think to remember, but it's just funny how things hold in your memory. Like the reason why my brother was able to purchase this Dreamcast was because he managed, I don't know how, but he managed to take care of my aunt's dog, which was, the name was, I remember the dog's name, it was Bingo. Just weird things that you remember. He babysat my aunt's dog, and my aunt paid him $150 to take care of that stupid dog, and that's where he came up with the rest of the money to purchase the Dreamcast. Now, when the Dreamcast was announced, it wasn't that big of a deal to the people in our circle. You know, my brother's a true gamer. My brother buys every system, has bought every system on launch day. This kid, well, he's not a kid anymore, but as a kid, he would wait in line for these systems to come out. He did it for the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3. He did it for the Dreamcast. He did it for the N64. I mean, my brother loves launch days. He has every single system on launch day. I'm not like that. My brother's more hardcore than I am. And for the simple fact that I remember that he managed to come up with the rest of the money because he took care of my aunt's dog. I remember that day. He went out to that KB toy stores, and he thought there was going to be a line, and nope. He went up to the register. I remember going up to the register, and he's like, "Where are the Dreamcasts? Where are all the Dreamcasts?" And the guy pointed behind him, and they had a crate full of Dreamcasts, man. There were plenty. No one really bought them. It was insane. My brother thought that they were going to fly off the shelves, and he was there with plenty of time to spare. There was really nobody buying them. And if I recall, I remember they went down in price because they couldn't sell them. I think they started off at $200, which is what my brother paid for. My brother paid for the system at $200. Then it went down to $150 because no one was really buying. And even at $150, people weren't biting. And I think they brought it down to even $100. And even at $100, people weren't taking the bait. And I think they wound up just giving them away if you bought the yearly subscription to something. I can't remember what it was that Sega was offering. But if you bought the yearly subscription, they just give you the goddamn Dreamcast. So it did very, very poorly. You know what? It just came out too soon after the Saturn, I think. The There was no time for developers to come up with really solid games for the Saturn, and they jumped right into, don't get me wrong, they made a lot of good games for the Saturn, but they jumped right into the next thing, which was the Dreamcast. It was like they were moving too fast for themselves. Back then, that's how I felt anyway. And I never wound up with a Saturn. I heard about the Dreamcast and my brother was talking about it, and he was going to get it, so I just waited for my brother to get it. And oh boy, am I glad he did, because the memories we had with this little box was insane. Until the PlayStation 2 came out, the Dreamcast was exclusively to our circle. It was just insane, really good games. I think my brother bought that game, Blue Stinger, on launch day, and he bought Sonic Adventures and I some kind of sports games. I can't remember what sports games he bought, because sports games back then were the shit. I'm sure they're good now, but back then we were more into. I used to live in Chicago, and I used to play with my cousins and my brothers, and we'd play the football, NFL 2K, MLB 2K, NBA 2K. We played all that shit, right? So I think it was 2K or 2K1, some shit like that. One of those was good. I mean, it was awesome. We played all the time. And the Dreamcast was great because it had 4 ports, man. That was insane. I think that was the first of its kind. Don't quote me on that. But I remember having to purchase 4 controllers because there just wasn't enough controllers to go around to play Power Stone. We had the most awesome time playing Power Stone. I know Power Stone doesn't get a good rap. It's not very, a lot of people don't like it very good, but it was an awesome multiplayer game for when we had friends come over, and during the holidays when our cousins would come over, that's what we'd multiplay to, was the Dreamcast. We'd just go up to my apartment and we would all night long just either play sports games, we'd play any kind of multiplayer game we can get our hands on. And me and my brother mostly stuck to the multiplayer game, like Zombies Revenge. That was a really cool game. House of the Dead 2. Oh my god, I loved playing that game in the arcade. And the simple fact that you could bring that game home and play it at your house, oh my god, it was insane. I never wound up getting the gun for it, so I'm always managed to play that game with the controller. As hard as that is, I got pretty goddamn far. I don't think I ever finished playing the game, but I never beat it. But and try beating it with the controller. It's insane. I saw a Let's Play of someone using the gun, and oh my god, I shit you not, I wish I would have gotten that gun a long time ago. But another good one was Zombies Revenge. That was an awesome 2-player game, which I played the ever-living shit out of with my best friend Carlos, that used to live in Chicago, still lives in Chicago. I'm still best friends with him. And we used to go through Zombies Revenge, god dang it, almost every night for like 6 months straight. I mean, we played the ever-living shit out of the game. We would do speed runs before speed runs was a thing. I mean, we would just always try to fucking cut the time as much as possible, find shortcuts, kill as fast as possible. We know everything, every square inch about that game. I absolutely love Zombies Revenge. I tried playing it the other day by myself. Ain't happening. That shit is just way too hard by yourself. That game requires a second person, for sure. Another good one that I love playing, and you wouldn't even be caught playing with today, because you probably wouldn't find it very interesting. But back then, it was a lot of fun. And I'm talking about those bass fishing games, those fishing reel games. That's why I went ahead and purchased the fishing controller, because the controller in itself is good, but it's not like an actual controller that's meant specifically for this game. Now, that controller only works for like 2 games that Sega Dreamcast came out, and they're both fishing games, obviously, since it's a fishing rod. And I own one of those games, and I put it in the other day, and man, let me tell you, that thing is a godsend if you like playing those fishing games, because all you have to do is literally tilt. I remember you have to rustle the control back and forth to get the fish, but with this one, you just actually, it's got a sensor at the top of the tip, They have a sensor up there, and you can move it to left or right, and it follows perfectly over on the screen. It's awesome if you like for fishing games. That is the controller to have. Even to this day, 17 years later, this system holds up. If you were to get a port of any other game that is in multiple platforms, if you got a game that stretches out from the Xbox to PlayStation to the Dreamcast, and there's a game out there for all three of those systems, always go for the Dreamcast one. Perfect example, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series. My all-time favorite is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I ate, breathed, and dreamed that game for like a year and a half straight. I never wanted to play anything else. I always wanted just Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I found the copy for it on N64, played it, hated it. I played the copy for PlayStation 2, hated it. I played the copy for the Dreamcast, and I couldn't put it down. The graphics are just 10 times better. It's more fluid. It's just overall a better experience. The controls are just 10 times better on the Dreamcast. That's why I said Dreamcast didn't invent the wheel, they just made it better. Kind of like Apple products. I loved when they got their hands on a game because they had the technology and the hardware to push it to its max. And that's why I will always have a special place in my heart for this awesome, awesome system. Thank you, Sega Dreamcast, for the great memories. Half-Life 3 confirmed.